Welcome back, and you guys have won. I concede. We are today flying out the ME410. It's the 3.7 version, and if I sound a bit raspy and clogged up, it's because I am. I probably contracted the flu from flying this absolute disease of a plane. Honestly, it's not all bad. You have an airspan. The airframe is actually pretty decent. The main drawback here is going to be the engine power, as well as the lack of lightweightness. It's severely overweight. And the power here is definitely an issue. If you do get above people, if you manage to get into a dogfight with an energy advantage, you can actually capitalize on it. The issue is having said energy advantage. There's a lot of planes that have airspans that will absolutely outclimb you. Think of XP50s, P38s, and all the like, and even a lot of the ground span planes will meet you on equal altitude at the start of the match. And at this point you're basically forced to go head on with them, or get a little bit lucky and hope that the enemy didn't climb optimally, they jipped in, or have another reason to not be at their optimal altitude. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen all too often, so there is a little bit of luck involved, but in general I just try to full send it in and try to get as many kills as quickly as possible. It's a bit of a repeat of the 190A8 video that I did a bit ago, except it's a little bit more pronounced. And here you can see I merged with a Spitfire. He has to do a 180. I pitch up, I stall him out, I did a little bit of engine damage, and I was confident that I could just go straight up. He does hit us with some 7 mils, but in the end it doesn't matter. And you can tell that this plane is actually, for its size, it weighs as much as your mother, but it still turns around pretty nicely with the flaps, even without. Just be careful that you actually hit the shot you are going to get, because if you miss the first shot, you're probably going to be sent back to the hangar because you are all out of energy. We then quickly roleplay as a fly squatter in Africa and take down all the mosquitoes, and then we go straight into the next game. FNF has been chasing us for a little while, so I just tend to kind of spray at him. We hit the P38 as well. He's smoking and I'm expecting him to break off soon. Finally his engine burns up and this F8F is still chasing us. Now the F8F is going to be a bit of an issue, so I'm going to try to just kind of spray at him to make him maneuver. I'm not really trying to kill, well obviously I'm trying to kill him. I know that he's dodging, my aim with gunners is terrible, so I'm just kind of trying to deter him, and if I hit him in the meantime, that would be absolutely fantastic. But I'm mostly just aiming to make him lose as much speed as possible, because the F8Fs have very bad energy retention. So as long as he's dodging, he's losing speed, I'm gonna outrun him, and I'm gonna deter him from going for me. He then breaks off, making him do a 180. We can now actually give chase to him, we will lose less speed than him, and he will very likely turn around because he still wants to get the free kill on the ME410. However, we were already faster and he just did another 180. So we go head on with him, we miss all of our shots, and at this point I can actually go vertical. Albeit for a very short amount of time, I can bank in all my speed into altitude, we pull up out of his nose, and then we drop directly on top of him. Now if I miss the shot that I'm about to get, yes, I am completely dead, but we get this guy so close and so slow that we should be able to kill him extremely easily. Now he starts to notice this issue and he starts to kind of dive away. Unfortunately, I held too much speed because I actually have decent retention, albeit very slow acceleration. The energy that you do have is actually somewhat stored in the balls over here, and we send him straight back to the hangar. XP50 comes in, he has a little bit of altitude, he has been going for us for a little while here, that's why we are so much out of position. And we had a second XP50 that I didn't want to 2v1, so I waited a little bit for him to break off, and then we start engaging the XP50. Now the thing is, the XP50 does compress a decent amount at high speed, and he doesn't roll very well at high speed. And because he's so much faster than us, while compressing, he instantly turns in front of our guns. Not the most flashy kill, because we're just going to get 2 hits, but unfortunately for him it's still going to be a boy, because he is completely unable to pull out due to the damage. And down goes the XP50 straight into a tree. And now here we have some actual games. We have the first kill here is the B26. We just kind of pitch up and we spray him down. There we go, not the most interesting kill, but then we arrive at the meat of the game. And this can go 2 ways. You either miss the head-ons and you get swarmed and you just simply die, which is what happened quite a few times actually in the making of this video. And then the other 50% are essentially like right here. No one is actually above me and I'm able to somewhat dive in. They are still climbing. And because of this, they are going relatively slow in the head-on, and these head-ons are therefore pretty easy to hit. They can't really dodge at all, and because of that I can simply recommit when they do try to dodge, and we just hold the trigger down with our 700 rounds of MG151s. Tempest above us, it's going to be the one with the 47s. F4U coming in for the head-on. He dodges because I'm spraying and he's way too slow. At this kind of airspeed, you do not want to dodge head-ons because I will absolutely piece you apart. Tempest comes in and he's going to be a bit of an issue. I'm going to be spraying at the P51 first because he actually has cannons or 50 cals. I'm not entirely sure what those were, but he has high volume guns, which are a lot more annoying to deal with, opposed to the single-barreled, single-shot 47s that have a lot of range, but, you know, low rate of fire, low accuracy. I do need to be careful that I don't fly perfectly straight for him, so I'm going to input whenever he shoots. And I'm just trying to deter them. P51 pulls off, that is fantastic, and now I feel like I want to dogfight this Tempest right here, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna wait for him to get a little bit closer, but at this point we're at about 500 kilometers an hour, and we're actually gonna split S here, because this plane doesn't actually compress that badly. And because his plane doesn't particularly turn well either at high speed, we can simply cut throttle a little bit, play for position, roll over and behind him, and he instantly overshoots. He then kind of uninstalls his brain, I think, and just flies straight into my guns. Thank you for the kill. Now for the next game, we're going to have a 6 kill with the absolute shitboat. And it starts off with the perfect head-on where we only hit a singular 13mm. Now it doesn't really matter because we're going about 500 speed and he was climbing into us, so we are able to just go straight up because he doesn't have the energy to follow this. Now do be careful that you don't chase a little bit too quickly because their radius is still going to be a lot smaller than yours because they are in a much more nimble plane. So you do want to be careful that you actually create a little bit of distance at the top of your stall so that you can drop in and actually aim at them properly. Because if you send it after them instantly, there's a very big likelihood that they will just pull out of your guns, and at that point you are already energy trapped because you don't have the engines to sustain the fight with anyone. Then we go for the P47 Blob. He is the highest, he has 50 kills, so I want to kill him right here. He dodges the head-on, he's way too slow to do so, and we're just going to hose him down. And that kill right there was perfect, because now we can actually merge with the Mustang and go straight up. We are going to do the same thing as we did to the P51C. However, this guy has a better position as well as slightly more energy, so we do want to be a bit more careful and create even more room. So here you can see that I'm delaying the stall slightly longer. I'm waiting for him to kind of stall and then I'm going to pitch in. The issue is that I will be able to pull into that one. However, the F2A and the Zero are coming in, so I need to break off and just leave. That A6M, while not extremely dangerous, if I stall myself out fighting with that Mustang, likelihood is that he just pitches into me and sprays me down, and if I then miss the Mustang, it's gonna be 3v1. So instead, I'm just gonna kill the Buffalo, and we're going to simply leave. The A6M is never going to be catching me. I have more energy, and this plane is just actually faster than the A6M. And then we also have the Mustang. Now I just want to spray at him to deter him a little bit. Same thing as with the F8F, but for now, I'm just waiting for my teammate. I can't really fight this. The Mustang was co-elt after the first turn, so I needed to kill him right there, and with me breaking off from that fight, it basically means that I instantly lose that fight. I don't have the energy or the speed to really reverse him, and the Mustang on your 6 is a plane that I wouldn't really try to reverse if I can avoid it, especially the one with 420 mils. And next to that, if I actually took that fight and I missed a shot, very big likelihood that these two teammates would have come in and killed him instead. So instead, I'm just going to break off a little bit, create some distance, and then I'm going to get the kill instead of them. That's kill number 4, and then we start looking around for a little bit. We have a Spitfire in the middle, as well as a PBJ and an F8F, but we also have two guys that are just taking off. And we are coming in with about 600 kilometers an hour, and these guys are still on the deck. So all I really need to do here is avoid their guns, go straight up, loop in behind them, and at that point, they are way too slow to really do, well, literally anything. Slow P47, massive target, quick tap, guns him out of the air, Firefly comes head on, quick tap, take his wing off, and that is the end of the game. For the last clip here, we have a P38, and I hope that the guy that I killed here is going to be watching, and I didn't record more than this, I'm terribly sorry, but this is simply the setup. He dives on us, he overshoots, he flies perfectly straight, we get some hits in, we get a crit, it doesn't actually do any damage. But this guy is simply going to stay at altitude for the rest of the game, and he is absolutely petrified to do anything. And this is a severe case of flying with a flowchart where you only do certain maneuvers if the conditions are met. And this is what got him killed. Right now, I'm only going about 400. I'm trying to just kind of pitch into him. I'm trying to bait him into coming down, because I know that I have the room to shoot him here. I'm simply going to miss all my shots a little bit too much to the right. We then correct, and those rounds are just a little bit short, and we end up missing. At this point, I'm going 80 kilometers an hour, and all he needs to do is pitch down and lick me up. Because I wasn't about to fight a P-38 that wasn't going to be engaging me, because I really don't have the patience for it anymore. So I'm just going to be chasing him. I'm going to try to get closer, do some lead pursuit, do some lag pursuit, trying everything I can to get close to him, but it's a P-38. And he simply has much more power than us, and here he's going into a horizontal turn. So I thought, well, he's waiting for me to pitch up into it, and then he's going to chase me. But no, he just does half a turn and then leaves me alone. Now here, I'm at this point streaming on Discord, and I'm showing someone, and I said, this guy is going to attack me the second I get 90 degrees underneath him. So that's what I'm going to try to do here. I'm going to try to bait him to get directly underneath him and slightly overshoot, because then he's going to come down. And he did it the exact moment we reached about 91 degrees, let's say, and he instantly engages me. And this is the issue with your playstyle. I know you are new, I checked your stats, no shame in that. But try to be a little bit more aggressive and try to take a little bit more risk, because the reason you died here is because you took zero risk. So we take him down in here, we get him to go fast. It's a P-38J, he doesn't have the boosters, he's compressing pretty badly. We kind of pitch up to decrease our radius, and we're just going to sit inside of his turning circle, and then we're going to pitch straight in. I'm not trying to get the shot right there, I was trying to set up for this shot, and he's so slow that we end up almost killing him. We managed to hit him, but it doesn't actually do any damage, and we didn't even get a hit. So probably a bit of desync. But then we stall on top of him, because we have so much position, and because he goes a little bit too wide, we end up pitching straight into this guy and putting him out of his misery. Again, take a bit more risk. It's going to be your best teacher, and I hope that helped. Thank you all for watching, and you'll see me in the next one.